O Tannenbaum, O Tannenbaum, how lovely are your branches. OMG, why are the White House visitors stealing the cranberry flocked branches of First Lady Trump's Christmas trees? It's Christmas time in the city, y'all. And apparently the internet is all abuzz about Melania Trump's Christmas tree selection. This year she's gone with some artificial cranberry flocked red trees that line the corridor. And apparently they're saying the reason why the visitors are taking them is because they actually have access to this part of the room and there are no security guards to monitor them. So they're taking branches of this cranberry tree, which is so bizarre. And I don't know, are they arresting folks for this offense? I'm not sure. I didn't get that part of the story. But what is interesting, of course, everyone is all abuzz, and all of the religious folks are all up in arms, and they're saying that she has brought satanic overtones to the White House, and they are accusing her of being very handmaiden tale-ish, if that's a phrase, handmaiden tale-ish. Okay. And they're accusing her of being, like The Shining, the movie, like Red Rum. But so is Mrs. Trump, is she sending out a signal to us? Is there some sinister overtones to this? Does it symbolize anything? I really don't know. Maybe she just liked the vibrancy. She said actually in an interview, she loves it. She thinks it's fun and festive, and she sees nothing wrong with it. Some people are accusing her of trying to push her communist ways on us, by having that red there. Now, of course, I had to put on my tinfoil hat tiara and do a little digging. And first I had to think about, what's up with the red trees? So, when I Google red trees, there's a movie that comes up, and it's all about a family trying to get through the after effects of the Nazi occupation. So it's a Jewish family trying to maneuver through life after that experience. I'm like, that's interesting. And of course, when you look at red, it's always about passion, sexual energy that's, darker, more violent. It's about fear and death. I mean, there's some good things about red. I love red. It's like my favorite color. Red and black, my favorite colors. Followed by yellow, in case y'all wanted to know that. Yeah. So red, though, of course, it's also good things about red. But today we just want to talk about the darker undertones, okay? Now, red, of course, symbolizes the blood. And the blood is life. The blood is the life force, okay? It is something that is very precious. And it is something that is used all over the world with this system that we exist in with the evil overlords. It is something that they use to feed off on. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Cranberries symbolize all of that as well. So if you're using it like in magical works, you could use it like, for love works, okay? Because it's a very heavy connotation there with it. So if you want to influence someone. But cranberries are associated with Mars, which is like the planet of war, okay? So we have the red trees, which is a movie about war. And now we have the cranberry, which is a berry that is native to America. From what I understand, it's native to America, okay? Associated with the planet Mars, which is the planet of war. And cranberries grow in something we call a bog, B-O-G, okay? So they're not really growing in water. They're growing in something like a sand bed, all right? It's with other stuff in there, like dirt and stuff, but it's basically a sand bed. And they harvest it, and that's why you always see them like wading in the water. But that's not the most interesting part about this, the bog. The bog, when you start to research it, in many stories, you get the picture that the bog is a bed. And it's a bed for bodies to be buried. They used to sacrifice bodies and deliver them to the bog to appease the spirits. And bogs are typically located like in swampy type of areas. So it's already a lot of mystery there anyway. And so there are like so many stories of people commenting about the hauntings that exist at different cranberry bogs. So now people are saying, just the other day, there was a report out from the president's office stating that all Americans should be now prepping, okay? Stocking up 6 months at least. 6 months at least of provisions. So that's, water, batteries, candles, food. And a lot of people are saying, this is a doomsday report. We always get this report. Nothing's going to happen. But other people are saying this world is always ran on symbolism. So her showing the bloody trees is symbolic of what's going to happen in the near future with the war that's coming. Some people say that they always have to warn us before the next act takes place. Some people say that. I didn't say that. Some people say that. So what do we have? We have a path of red trees made out of cranberries, which symbolizes blood red, which symbolizes war, which symbolizes death. And now we begin to get the picture that maybe it's not just about the festivities. Maybe she's sending a message because the tree is in a pyramid formation. So now we begin to see that there's something a little bit more sinister. Now, there is a story in a book. It's sort of like a poem. And the book is called The Kelvala. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so excuse me if I'm not. And it is a tale from Finland, okay? And it's basically the story of the creation myth. And in this story, there is a part where a virgin goes down towards the water. Okay, so she's going towards the water, which we know the water is an incubator. The water is a carrier. She goes to the water, and basically a cranberry cries out to her in greeting saying, "Eat me." Now, you have to ask yourself, why is a cranberry talking? Why a cranberry? And what does this cranberry signify, okay? The cranberry symbolizes the divine seed. What's happening here is the cranberry is symbolic of the root chakra. That's why it's located in the water, or near the water, or down, okay, below. And the cranberry is saying you need to unify. You need to be who you really are. You need to bring your root chakra in alignment, unblock it, so that you can bring forth your blessing, okay? Because she's basically the Virgin Mary here. And the Virgin Mary is all about taking the lower chakras, unifying it with the higher chakras to bring forth your promise, your gift, your Messiah, or your message. What is your purpose here? Okay? So the root chakra, cranberry, it's all trying to get you to process the alchemy. Many times people like to stay at that base level. The root chakra is all about fight or flight. It's how you view life. It's the struggle. It's, you being afraid. You don't have enough to eat. You don't have the right clothing to wear. You don't have enough money in the bank. You have nowhere to live. It's about gimme, 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 gimme. I'm scared. There's not enough. It's about lack, especially when it's out of order, when it's blocked, okay? And so it's telling her in this story, in order for you to be complete, because she was a virgin and she had never experienced true love, and she had never brought forth fruit out of her womb. And so the cranberry is telling her, if you want to be whole, you have to eat me. So she conjures up a way to eat the cranberry. And once she does that, she becomes pregnant. Once you bring your low self to your high self and you merge, you do become pregnant with purpose, because the cranberry is symbolic of the divine spark. Okay? Once you eat of that fruit of knowledge, you become awoke, and you can no longer go back to being that lower self ruled by emotions. Then you start to put on your critical thinking. And then you start to observe things for what they are and learn how to maneuver around life. And now you become someone who is going through an alchemical process. Okay? So you're no longer staying at the base level. You're rising up to the top. All right? And so that's what this story is really about. So is Mrs. Trump telling us war is coming, the commies are taking over? Or is she telling us bloodshed is ahead, wake up? Is she telling us we're all being sacrificed to the bogs of this evil overlord system? Or is she telling us wake up and unify? You decide. Thank you for listening. And as always, Om Shrim Brizzy.